Hi there, dreamer. Yes, you seem to be dreaming, talking in your sleep when I found you and thereafter. I'm sorry we haven't officially met. I'm Twyler. I was the one who found you passed out in the courtyard when you first appeared here along with the other humans. I'm sorry to disturb you from your reading, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to check on you since your arrival. But I hope you've been feeling well taken care of by the castle staff in the meantime. Good to hear. I'm happy that you've taken a liking to our library, but can you actually read anything? Oh, you've been studying. How's it going? It is a mystery to all of us how we seem to speak the same language, names for objects and things that we differ with, but you still speak in Purdue tongue. From what I've been shown, though, our writing differs considerably. It's easy. Well, once you've figured it out, maybe you can share your findings with me. I think it's a wonderful idea to be able to read your own indicas too. What do you call them? Each symbol is a collective whole, if that makes sense. I mean, we have indicas. The indicus is the collection of the indicats, which are these shapes. Each represent a sound we make. Each individual indicat or mark shape is put together to make an indicus. Oh, so you have... So the alphabet is what you call the indicats, and they're called letters, and collectively that's an alphabet. Oh, okay, we just have indicats. And words. Words are your indicus. See, it's so similar yet so different and leaves me with so many questions. So what do you need help with? That one? That's an E sound, though it doesn't always sound like an E, but mostly it does. Yours too. Oh, maybe this will be easier than I first thought. Or maybe even more complicated than I first thought. We shall find out soon, I guess. I'll be sure to write our indicats down for you. Hopefully that will help speed things up a little, and feel free to ask me or anyone else if you need any help. Have you left this castle since you woke up in it? You haven't? I didn't think so, but why ever not? Scared of getting lost, huh? Well, it's understandable. Okay, put your book away, or you can bring it with you. Would you like me to show you around a little? I need to go home for a while. It's a fair walk away, even with my speed. We'll pass through the village and walk around the left side on the cliff edges. I generally like my own company, so I'm a bit further away than most. It's a small surround close to the edge of a cliff that looks down upon the beaches of the Mersey. I'm happy for you to join me if you wish. Right. Good. Okay, let's take your books. It was lucky we found you when we did. We can only guess that, however you arrived, you may have been dizzy and hit your head as you fell. Unfortunate placing. The other humans who landed here, I think there were 5 or 6 of you. Anyway, they were found about 3 days before you were, just wandering around and hadn't been here very long. We've since been able to piece together what happened, the whole Sadie versus fire and the goddess thing bringing the walls down, and how they trapped the goddess in the first place. And somehow you and the other humans were caught up in it all. Once the walls were down, it was easy for you to cross into this plane from the other, for want of a better word. But I'm sure you're already caught up on all this. It's time to see a little more of this place, and certainly a part that no human has visited yet. My home. Well, let's shortcut through here. It'll take us into the main road of the village. You can have a look and see how it compares to your home. I'm so curious about it all. You'd think you'd have learned by now. Oh, me. Curiosity. It's what got me almost killed before being turned into a vampire in the first place. Oh, surely you don't want to hear such a depressing story as how I came to be a vampire. Really, dreamer? Your books tell much prettier tales, I'm sure. I'd heard there was a rare flower in Savanian, and I'd travelled there from my original home in Perlo to stay for a few days, in hope of finding it. I'd planned on bringing it back to Perlo to see if it would survive there. A lot of flowers glow here, all over Perdu, but this one I'd been told glowed much brighter. Certainly brighter than anything I'd seen before. And it was true. Funny enough, it was the glow of the flower that I saw high on a rocky area before even seeing the flower itself. Anyway, I jumped up to it. Pelosians are able to jump up to 7 times their own heights. I misjudged the small ledge the flower was on and fell, breaking almost every bone in my body. As I lay there, a vampire from the Twils who'd been looking for dinner found me in the blink of an eye. I guess they could smell the blood that was pouring from pretty much everywhere at that point. I was so close to death already. I don't remember much about what happened exactly, but I do remember being bitten. It seemed to go on, and I grew weaker. Then the vampire sat with me for a few minutes, just watching me, and she smiled, and she had the kindest eyes I'd ever seen, which didn't stop her sinking her teeth into my neck one last time for one last gulp. A couple of patrolling Sphenians from Lark Village a few miles away saw the vampire, and how they even managed it I'll never know, but they took that vampire out right while she was on top of me. I remember the villagers running, shouting for help, to help me I think, and I think I passed out or died, whatever. I must have been there a few hours. I woke up fully healed, wide awake and insatiably hungry, way before they had the chance to get back. So I picked that flower up from the floor. I couldn't go home, of course. I couldn't risk hurting my family. I was well aware of what had happened. So I came here to the Twils. First place I came across was a small surround that was pretty much in ruins when I found it, and I made that my home. It's been my home for over 1,000 years now. I used to travel back quietly to Perlo, just to watch my family from a distance, through the grief, through the births of new babies. Of course, the walls went up a few years later, separating everyone from everyone. I may be immortal, but the day those walls went up, that was was the day I died inside. And yes, the flower lives in my garden. Although not the same one as the day I arrived, but it has bloomed every year since then, to this day. It's as old as I am, and just as pretty still. So at least something good came from it. You must miss your home terribly too. What a pair we make. Tell me your favourite memory, please. And yes, I'd love to hear it. Whether it's a favourite or a funny or, just your favourite. So what happened then? See, I knew you were a dreamer. Have you ever kept a journal? Well, you could be the first human to write a book for the library. It would make a wonderful addition, and I would very much love to be the first in all of Purdue to read it. It's getting colder the closer to the edge of the Twils we get. Would you be offended if I asked if you'd mind me getting us there a lot faster than we currently are? Oh, you would? Well, what if I tell you that being offended isn't half as bad as being cold for a lot longer? Would you still mind my asking? No? Thought not. Just put your arms around my neck and hold tight. That's all you have to do. I'll put my arm around your waist and like magic we'll be home. Oh look, we're home already. And there's the flower lighting the way. I know that was cheating, and it must have been a bit of a blur for you. But from where we took off to here was just one straight path to follow. So you'll always know how to get here if you need or want to. That was the important part of this little trip, was you knowing how to get here. This was my safe space. It will always be yours too. Why? Empathy, sweetheart. Because our experiences may be completely different, but I know how it feels to be lost with no real direction and no one to turn to. Seeing you laying there reminded me of myself, dreamer. So how about I make us something to eat? Then you can take that book out and I can help you with the language. Unless anything has changed that I'm unaware of, the language will be universal throughout Purdue, so you'll never have to be lost again. I can take you back to the castle in a couple of hours, where hopefully all these books will have opened up their secrets for you to enjoy. Sounds like a plan? Okay? Okay.